Hey everyone, this is Group Mid-Journey, and this is our app Waddle. My name's Wiley Austin, and I'll pass it off to the rest of my team to introduce ourselves.
My name's Luke Watson. Nice to see y'all.
Hey, I'm Kennedy Marin.
Hi, I'm Will Tate.
Hey, I'm Kevin Francis.
So this is our app Waddle. We got the idea for this app from going through University of South Carolina's old event interface on their website. It's really old, it's out of date, and it's completely text-based. So our idea was to create something visual, where students could also create and edit events themselves because they didn't have the possibility to within USC's old event platform. So it's completely map based, and we use a dynamic map box interface, which has 3D buildings and displays a really cool map of Columbia. And it's completely interactive, so users can triangulate their location, figure out which events are for them, and filter and create events depending on their interests. In terms of the tech stack we use for this, we started off with a backend Django platform, which is kind of the base for everything. And then through that, we use Django's dynamic REST API features to integrate everything within our web app, which is primarily desktop focused, but it also has mobile support with a few less features than desktop has. So Python and Django handles all the user authentication, database interactions, and dynamic content rendering, while HTML, CSS, and JavaScript handles everything on the user visual side. So we use jQuery, Bootstrap 3, and Select 2 for interactivity. We didn't use any kind of modern front-end frameworks like React or anything like that. This is completely built from the ground up, and it's completely dynamic. So it uses Ajax and DOM. So when a user signs in on another account, the events are displayed dynamically and continuously updated throughout, no matter what you do. And in terms of deployment and hosting, we went with Heroku. So everything is through a Heroku SQL database and is continuously updated and completely dynamic. So I'll pass it off to Kevin to jump into our demo.
So yeah, if I'm a student at USC and I just heard about this new app that's trending on campus called Waddle, I'm going to be interested in it, so I'm going to try it out. So obviously, I would need to register for this app. Makes sense. So let's just say I'm a USC student, and okay, I'm a USC student, and I'm going to create my email. And I'm going to create a password. Interestingly enough, this password has to be strong enough. There's a kind of algorithm that checks to see if this password is strong, which is very good. And I need to confirm it as well. And these are all very nice features to ensure that my data is being protected, and not just my data, but the entire campus data, because as you can see, there's a lot of events on this. But I'm a student. I just create an account, and the first thing I see is that this app wants to get to know who I am, so it can tailor my interests. That's the first thing I see. So I see this questionnaire. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And I'm looking at this, and I'm definitely the type of person who would like to relax with some yoga. So I'm going to select yoga, definitely. I'm also the type of person who likes to go to cookouts. I'm interested in being social, so I'm going to select that as well. And finally, I would definitely be interested in some guest speakers. So that's a questionnaire which is kind of more relatable to me. But how does that translate into this app? What is this app going to do with that information? Well, first of all, it's going to actually save those interests to my account, as you can see here. It's got my interests here. These are translated from the questionnaire that I took, and maybe I'm not too interested in lectures and speeches. Maybe instead I would like to go and see some live music. So I'm going to select live music instead, and that's all fine. Because once you've selected your interests, you can go into the app and okay, what is it? What do the interests do for me? Well, the app is going to recommend events based on my interests. So I selected music, I selected health and wellness, and I selected social and community. So as you can see here, we have choreography, we have some live music, we have a lot of live music, but we also have the yoga, which is something I said I was interested in. I'd really like health and well-being. So yeah, these are basically the types of events that I would be interested in. And that pretty much concludes the aspect that I wanted to show off. And now I'm going to pass it off to Kennedy to talk about creating events.
All right, yeah. So I'm just going to kind of walk you guys through what it looks like to create a new event here on Waddle. I will touch on something really quick that Wiley spoke to a little bit, which was the interactiveness of our web app. So this was really important to us throughout the whole planning phase of Waddle, because a lot of existing platforms that show students what events are on campus are just really simple and honestly pretty boring. Like they'll just be a spreadsheet basically with an event and the time and the location. And we really wanted to offer not only an alternative to this, but one that was really engaging to students. So one of the big things we did was we added the interest quiz, which Kevin just walked through, and then also allowing users to create events and upload them on the site for other users to see. So we thought this was a really good way to incentivize users to come use our site and interact with themselves. So I'm going to show you guys kind of what it looks like to create an event. Because of all the hard work we've done in this class and how excited we are about Waddle, we're gonna do a Waddle launch party, let's say. So for a short description, I could say something like, come celebrate the launch of our new app with us. And then for the date, it could be anything. We'll do tomorrow. Tomorrow's a Friday night, so seems like a good idea for a launch party. And then maybe 6 to 9 p.m. And then for the location, we wanted to make sure that this was an on-campus site and it was really geared towards students. So we have a drop-down menu. Let's say, let me look through the drop-down. Let's say Russell House. That's perfect for this kind of event. And then admission costs, this will be free. And optionally, you can add a link to a website that tells more about your event or an image URL. For this purpose, we'll just skip those two, but they're definitely an option. And then you can add a category tag, which will tie your event into the interest quiz that we saw before. And then immediately after submitting the event, it should be available live, not just for the user that created it, but for any user of the app. Like a simple refresh will show whatever event you had. So that's kind of the process. Pretty straightforward, super user friendly. And again, just really exciting that users have the ability to do this here on Waddle. Now I'll pass it off to Luke.
All right, thank you, Kennedy. We're going to look for the event she just created now. And as soon as you upload an event, it is available to anyone with an account. And so we can go in and find her Waddle launch party. We can save it to our saved events. And under the Explore events, you can open the drop down, go to your saved events, and that shows you all the events that you've saved. You can save any event that you would like. There's numerous events, but also if you go up to your account, you can see all the events that you've saved. And if you decide, you know, maybe we're not going to go to the launch party, you can unsave it, and then you can close. And then if you change your mind again, you can go back, you can search for it again. Waddle launch party, maybe I will go. And you can add it back. And it shows you where it is on the map. And you can look at it, you know, maybe maybe you'll see it on the way from class.
Now I want to fully understand the search events sidebar and map functionality. So in this sidebar, I'm presented with all the events that are listed. And maybe I don't have plans to attend one today because I have a project due, but maybe I want to attend one later this week because I'm free and I can scroll through all of these. And there's just a lot of events. So I'm just going to do show recommended events based on the questionnaire that I took initially. And I do like to eat healthily, so I think this USC Farmers Market sounds good. And if I click on it, it'll take me right to the location of the event, and I can see the title of the event, the description, when it's happening, on the time and the date, where it's happening, and the cost. So maybe I like this one. I'll save it for now. I can always unsave it later if I don't end up wanting to attend that. Additionally, I can go to a USC sponsored, where am I at? That's right. Clear filters, and I can go to a USC sponsored event. So let's say there's one in Thomas Cooper Library right here. I can click on it, and I can also be presented with the information that's on all the events. And there's also a more info tab, where if I click it, it takes me to the official USC calendar and event page, and I can see all the things that were already listed on Waddle, such as the date, time, description, and I can also be presented with the registration form. So let me bring that away. And additionally, let's say that I'm leaving class and I see an event on my way back from class. I can click on it using this icon, and I see that this is the health and wellness icon. And I can click on it and I can save it. I can also route myself back from a class. Let's say that I live, or that I'm attending a class in Swearingen over here. I can also use the map box to route myself back and see events on the way back from campus. So I can turn it this way, and maybe I'm following along Sumter Street, and maybe I want to attend. I can check this event out, stargazing. I can check this event out, and I can just see all the events that lead back to where I need to go next, and see if maybe there's an event that's happening in between there. Additionally, in the search bar, we can also search up locations to find events. So in case I didn't want to actually use the map to follow, I could just search up Longstreet Theater, and boom, here's the event that's happening in Longstreet Theater, a jazz night. And I'm on an admin screen, so I can CRUD events, which means I can create, read, update, and delete events. So in this case, maybe I want to edit this event. I can go back to the screen that Kennedy showed us, and maybe I can edit some event, but I won't do that now. And yeah.
So that concludes our presentation of our app, our Waddle app. And just to kind of take us back to the beginning, just to ensure that my login is still going to work, I'm just going to try logging in one more time just to make sure this is something that saves permanently. And yeah, there I am. I can log back in if I want to, and the app is always going to be there for me, including my account information. If I had any events saved, it would have also saved those events too when I log back in. And this is good because it's persistent, and I can check the app whenever I need to. And this pretty much concludes our presentation of our Waddle app. So thank you very much to the audience for watching our demo, and I really hope that this project ends up being useful for you all, for any USC students and student organizations who want to put their events on this map. We hope it's something that the entire campus adopts and gets to experience, and maybe even future campuses as well adopt a similar platform. So that would be awesome. Thank you all very much. This is Midjourney signing out.